Hello. Hey, Nanotech. Yeah, that person was a bot. I hide links, so they're probably trying to put a link in there so it puts asterisks instead. You know, those kind of people. How you doing, Nanotech? I'm not sure how long I have to stream. It may be a while. I'm not sure. But we'll all have to see. Just in case, I got 2 sodas here. I'm ready. How you doing, Nanotech? Hope your day is going well. The start of it. At least it's the start of it for me. So I think I'm gonna tackle entities. And you know what? Before I do anything, let's get old Discord up. Discord. Let's see, and I gotta find. There was. I gotta pull up the model that I'm going to use. I think no, it's not that. It's not that. I probably should have downloaded this before. just a little bit. Howdy, almost ready to push Animation's alpha version. Ooh, that's awesome. Maybe if we can only get it, like, innately in the game, right? I was looking at some of the Minecraft stuff, right? And I'm like, oh, I miss animated textures. Because, you know, a lot of the Minecraft magic mods, like, use it to make it feel like magic. Where is this file? Where's this model? Oh. Maybe this is it. Let's download this. This may be it. I may have downloaded it. Hold on. Shapes. I think this is it. Let's pull up. You'll be able to see things in a moment here. I gotta pull up my model creator and see if we got it. Let's go under. I need a third monitor. That's what I need. A third monitor. Copy this stuff out. Here we go. Desktop. I'll just put it right in the model creator folder. There we go. Shapes. All right, so let's go under File, Open. Just in case it displays personal information here. There we go. All right, and this should be under Shapes, Elemental, Open. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Boop. Surprise! Sweet. Okay, so let's make an elemental. Let's make my elemental monsters. I've been wanting to put them in the game. I want to give some of them special abilities too, so I'm not sure how far I'm going to get. The first step is actually just getting these things in and having them spawn. Like, that's, you know, step 1. So to do that, oh, looks like I already have an entities folder. I probably should... I probably want to make... Now, are these going to be monsters or just creatures? Maybe these elementals, I will classify them as, like, just creatures, and not necessarily monsters. I do want monsters, but not yet. So we will make a new folder, and I will just say, you know what? I will say creatures will be the broad strokes. Right? Creatures. Because it's going to be different than familiars or the projectiles, or... I do have a folder for stations. I was going to have an entity for a station, but I'm not sure if that idea is going to come about. I have too many ideas, and only I'm working on this, so... let me move some of these papers. Jeez, I'm like trying to type on my keyboard, and I got these papers like overlapping. Darn work. I'll call these elementals. I'm going to just do a copy and paste here and we're gonna rename this. So I will say entity. This isn't. I don't think this should be a flying elemental. This may be more of a ground elemental. You know, something that like traverses the ground. I don't know. Maybe I'll just say entity. I'll just do ground elemental for now. Ground elemental. All right, and what I'm going to do is look at. Well, I guess I got to make a decision. Should my first creature be a flying creature, or should it be something that just walks on the ground? Flying creature would be more cool, but the ground creature would be pretty awesome. You know, I think we're gonna go with a ground creature. Should these walk up walls? I don't think so. I don't think so. These are going to be just standard creatures. Should they go through walls? No, because they're not going to be a ghost, right? So I've got this whole thing here. So what I'm going to do is go to my creatures mod, because I already have creatures, right? And we're gonna do some copying from that mod. I'm gonna get rid of all of this, and we're gonna paste this in, and now we're just gonna audit stuff, right? So ground entity ground elemental is what I'm gonna call this. So you know what? We're gonna do a search and replace for this. You know, I guess I do kind of like the way I partitioned things before, so maybe the name should be different. Maybe it should be like elemental ground. Maybe just elemental ground. Should I have a different elemental for surface only? No. I think I would want bosses to be surface only, potentially. And maybe not even then. If you haven't realized, I haven't really thought this out. I just literally walking in, I'm like, I want to make elementals. Let's finally put them in. I want to see them wandering around. Oh, there was only one occurrence. All right. For now, we're not going to have a class for them. Their habitat will be land. I do want to enable them. Now, this is where I can get a little fancy with the species, the variant, any kind of like contamination. I don't think I'm going to do a contamination for the elementals, not yet. The variants, I could have static variants here. So I could do this one of a couple of ways. I can have one JSON file that will parse everything out, right? But it could get kind of big and sloppy, right? So like for the species, I can have like an element, right? And then for the variant, I can have like, you know, your common fire element, right? Let's just say maybe like an azure, yeah, right? You know, maybe a golden. I like that idea of like a different tint to those elementals, to signify that they're going to hit harder, that they're a more evolved form of the common elemental. Now you see that in my spiders and my, you know, like my hollows and skeletons and stuff. So if we, you know, we'll actually go into that mod to see if something like that would work here. Because even though they may hit harder, I can key those particular monsters in with better loot. Also thinking about the soul system that I'm putting in, the soul magic, I want you to be able to take a soul stone from any creature you kill, including these elementals. I think it would be cool to like go through everything, capture like, you know, the blue version, right? The azure fire, you know, and then, you know, have that, you know what I mean? Like have that be like a special looking pet. You know, because you went through the extra effort and got lucky. No! I just ruined my test world! Oh, no! Maybe if I exit out, everything will be okay. I'm like, wait, why is it so upset? Damn it! We'll just pretend that didn't happen. All those block entities ruined. Damn it! That's alright. That's alright. I could just replace a couple. There's not a lot of block entities in there. Let's just create a new flipping world. I'll just say, delete me. Knew it. Knew it. Knew it. Past couple of times, I'm like, maybe I should make a backup of this world. It's starting to get kind of big. Surprise. Surprise! Alright. /GM2. Right, so for like the monsters mod here, right, you have different versions of these things, so we'll pull out. Right, so you'll have like your surface hollow here, which is probably going to go to sleep because it's daytime. So yeah, and there we go, he goes to sleep, but that's the regular one, right? And then every once in a while you can get like a Scarlet, which is going to have more health and hit harder. You have like an Ashened one, and then you have the Russet one. There, those creepy sounds. I love how they like, you know, you'll be walking through and you're like, oh, what's that, right? Is that just rock? And then they'll just jump right up and cream you. But, yeah. So I kind of like that idea of having different colored tints. So I think what I probably should do is have a different JSON for each element. In each creature type, and then I can subdivide that out, just so my JSON's not like, you know, a million lines long. I think that's what we'll do. So I'm just gonna shut this down. Boop. Beep, boop. So that being said, in here, I could do like elemental, ground, fire. We'll start with the fire. So the variant, right? I don't really need a subspecies anymore. A variant I probably want to keep for now. For fire, golden, verdant, violet, whatever. Like I can come up with new names for that stuff. Contamination, we're not going to deal with that. I like the idea of having, you know, it's almost like taken from the drifters, right? You have the main drifter, and then there's like the different types of drifters, right? Going all the way to like the double-headed, you know? You got your surface, your weakest, and then, you know, it just cascades from there. I don't think I'm going to do that with the elementals. I would rather make a new JSON for a new type of elemental. If that makes any sense. All right, can climb, true. Am I sure about that? What did I copy from? Oh, I copied from the Stalkers. Hold on, I don't want the Stalker. I'm going to copy from the Hollow instead. All right, so again, instead of monster, it'll be elemental. Maybe I should come up with a certain name. Elemental... I'll just put elemental fire for now. Alright, now we'll go through. So, subspecies, I don't need that. Variant, I want. Contamination, I'm actually just going to delete the contamination. I know for a fact I don't want it. Alright, so we got our hitbox. So, again, I have to kind of take a look at things. There is no normal anymore. I will just put a wild card in there with the expectation that I will maybe have different sizes for the variants, in which case I would probably want to resize those hitboxes. Eye height being 1. You know what? I will look to see what the eye height is. Maybe the first creature... You know, actually, I think they're going to be pretty big. I'll leave it at 1 for now, but I have to come back to that. Okay, attributes. Glitch affected, true. Glitch flicker, true. Spawn damage particles, true. Killed by... I will put my own killed by information in here eventually when I figure out... Like, these things may end up being able to fly. I don't know. Spawn closer during low stability. Yeah, buddy. On death stability recovery. I think I do want this because the whole premise of my magic mod is the fact that the rust is like primordial magic. So it would make sense that taking out something that originates from that primordial magic would replenish your temporal stability to some degree. I think a 10% increase is probably what I'm going to want to go for initially. All right, now we're doing size. This would go in line with the hitbox and the dead size, ideally. The renderer, oof, that's right, I'm gonna have to make my own shape renderer. We'll skip that for now. I'm gonna have to have my own shape. We'll skip that for now. We'll skip the textures. I just want the behavior. We're gonna go through the behavior and then we'll go back and I'll bring in the model. I will create a class file for this, just a simple thing. It's not going to do anything. And then we'll come up with a shape renderer for this as well. Again, it's not going to have any shaders or anything special so far. It's just going to be the foundation for doing things like that. Because I may end up putting like fire particles. I may do a fire shader. I'm not sure yet. Bernardo! How's it going? I think all of this I want to keep. Okay, now we're getting into her stand, stand idle, die, stand die. Okay, okay. Attributes, I want to keep those. Controlled physics. All right, so here we go. Health. Let me scroll back up to here. So I have common, scarlet, russet, and ashened so far. I will just deal with the common for now. So we'll do common, then we'll do our scarlet, we'll do the russet, and the ashen. I will end up changing these. Whoops. But I'm not going to change them right now. I just want base values in. I'm pretty good, thanks. You? I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad. First, there will be something special. My staff. Yeah, your staff is going to be a living staff, huh? How does that sound? It grows with you. It can tuck you in at night, and it builds it reads your mind, and then just makes it appear. Are you excited for it? It'll be next stream. And if I deny it, it'll be the stream after that. Alright, Dead Decay, 3 hours sounds good. Because that's in-game hours. Yeah, hours to decay, 3, yeah. That's what I want. Despawn sounds good. I will probably end up messing with this stuff. I'm not sure what I want its emotional state to be. We will end up expanding this because I want it to where if you have learned magic, these will be hostile to you. If you don't know magic, they won't be hostile to you. If you are attuned to their element, I want them to not be hostile to you. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have this more complex kind of like hostility, I guess we'll say, AI logic. So everything else I'm going to leave. I know some of this stuff does not exist. Harvestable, yeah, see, some of these items do not exist. So for now, I'm just gonna do the wild card. Rusty gear, temporal gear, yes, yes. I will comment this out. I mean, you could drop a rusty gear bone. Yeah, that kind of stuff is fine. I'm not sure what I'm going to have them drop yet. It will probably be elemental kind of specific things, like the fragments of whatever element they are. I do want to keep these. Max daylight. This is all pretty much going to be custom. Common, scarlet, russet, and ashened. Oh, loose stones. These would not have spawned in loose stones. There we go. I had to put game. Ah. Sounds are fine. All right. So that's the first draft here. Let me save this. So let's start back at the top. All right, so the first thing we're going to make with this is a class file. We're going to register a class file. So let's go down to here, where everything is. And I do already have an entity folder. I'm going to keep in line, and I'm going to say creatures. Right? And then we're going to make our subfolder in here, elementals. Or actually, I should do elemental. It's not plural here. For creatures, this should be creature. There we go. You do a copy and paste. And we're going to prune out a lot of this stuff. I want to extend entity agent. Let me just... I kind of have a format that I like in my other mod that I want to keep. So I'll look at like the stalker pet. Yeah. So it is going to be entity agent. This is going to be entity elemental elemental, and I'll say fire for now. So this is going to be the name. We need to change this. I need to change it here. Okay, and now what kind of core things did I have? I don't think I had too much. I will eventually have particles, so we'll leave the particles. I'll delete the rest. I will delete this. We will change that to RMR references. All right, so now we're getting into entity overrides. I want to keep material density, right? I want to keep the applied gravity. We're going to hop into initialize. I'm already initializing my particle system. You know what? I'm going to undo this. I may make an elemental creature subsystem that just kind of builds out a lot of what would make the elemental creature, right? So maybe it would apply gravity. Maybe it would automatically have like a certain density, right? Maybe it would have certain AI logic, certain trigger events. I have a lot of systems to put in here. So on entity spawn is the next thing, which I can leave basically blank. Get speed walk multiplier. I probably want to put that in. I do want to put that in. I'm going to copy this because I'm going to want to play with that a little bit. So this current logic is talking about if the creature is in water, in which case I actually have to copy out two double variables up top here. There we go. So basically, if this thing, so I have a multiplier, right? So I get a global constant of like sneak speed. This basically will slow the creature down when they're in water for their walk speed. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, when they're in a liquid. So I want to keep that. This also means that when I make the frost and water creatures, I would do the inverse of this, right? I would want them to be slower outside of water, but faster while they are in the water. All right, and then I think the next thing we're going to bring over is actually the on-game tick. I don't need any of this logic here. Like, let me get rid of all of that. I will keep this because this is already spawning particles. So, and I will get rid of everything else. This is going to be a basic blank slate. This I'm going to keep because I'm going to put a config file in to where you could disable these creatures if you want. But if you disable them, you're going to be getting rid of a source of elemental fragments, which you will need. I'll have a secondary source in, but trust me, it's going to be brutal. you are going to want my elemental creatures. On interact, I'm going to get rid of everything here. I'm just going to do a base dot on interact, and we're going to put in like by entity. There we go. Because I wanted to call all of the base interactions. I may make it to where, like, maybe when you tame these things, they can have their own inventory, armor, right? But you need to be able to interact to open that stuff up. This particular information gets the info text for the entity. what was I using for this? I'm returning null. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just comment all this stuff out. There we go. I'll comment everything out like this. Because I don't think I need that quite yet. Maybe I think that may be something that has to do with either the name or an extra. I know I was trying to do something fancy with it, and I don't remember what. So this is all of the base. This is going to be like the base elemental fire entity. So now we got to register this entity class. Do I have a section for it? Yep, I do. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to say API.register entity. We're going to pop this in, do .name. Oh, look at it go. Thank you. That's like the first time autofill has been really helpful in this particular file. Normally it tries to do like one of the ones that already exists. That's awesome. So let's save that. Now we can go back into our elemental and I can paste that in. All right, so now it's going to pull from our new registered class. Let's scroll down a little bit. The next thing is the shape renderer. Ugh. All right, let's see how I'm doing it in my other mod. I think I'm not going to use the shape renderer. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use this other shape renderer. Or I'm going to have to heavily modify it, because I learned a lot more since then. So let's go under renderers. We are going to add a new folder. This will be entity. And then in entity, we're going to have creatures. And of course, in creatures, we're going to have elemental. And you know what? I don't want that to be plural, right? Creature. I'm going to copy one of these and paste it in so I have a baseline. I call this shape entity renderer. This will be elemental fire. No. So I'm going to copy this name. Okay, so let me think. How do I want to do this? I think I'm going to modify this, and I'm just going to delete a lot of stuff out. I want to keep iRenderer and disposable because those are going to be my links in for shaders. And that's what I wasn't doing before, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to find the 3 instances of this name. We'll kind of paste it in. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to prune the crap out of this. Before I get too crazy, because this is made, we can come back in here and paste this in. We should register this as well. So when we go further down, here we go. I need to do API.register entity renderer class. Need to paste this in and pop the registry name in. This needs to be type of. Paste that in. There we go. And of course, I'm registering this. If we scroll up, it's going to be on the start client side because you don't want this stuff running on your server. It will. I will guarantee you it will crash. So don't do it. All right, so let's save that, right? Now we can go back in and let's start picking this apart. Render order and render range, I want these to stay. I set the render range at 100 blocks away. It's kind of a sweet spot. You can see things from a distance. It's also going to be the distance in which the shader will render as well. So it's like a dual purpose. And I kind of want you to see like the fire and particles if you can see the creature at all. So kind of works out. Everything about size and size modifiers, I can start commenting a lot of this stuff out. For now, Yeah, we're going to comment everything out. For the initial size, I'm going to do a 1.0. The offset, I may have to do something special with the offset. Not quite sure. So for all of this stuff here, I kind of want to comment all of it out. I'm not going to work with shaders yet. And everything in this whole thing, this is all my shaders. I'll actually just say shader related, which means I can leave this alone, this alone, this alone. I have a lot of different shaders that I've created that I like to layer. Okay, so render on frame. This is going to be shader related as well. It's not going to be what I want. I think I can comment all of this out. But to do that, I just need to go through, see anything that I've lazy commented like this. I actually want to comment out differently. Here we go, so I can get rid of this. Get rid of that. Same thing here. I think I could just keep going down. There we go. Scroll up. Let's get rid of that and that. Man, I was lazy. Curse you, past vice. Everything about size. Moosey, where are you? Did he lock you again? I don't know. I don't know. Is Moosey just being lazy? We gotta ask ourselves that. Are you being lazy, Moosey? Dispose. We may need dispose. Actually, I don't think we do. So I think all of this can be commented out. Scroll all the way to the tippy top. And I will, actually, I could comment out everything up to here. And we'll save, yep, there we go. Now, see, I can just fold it all away. It goes from lines 242 to 751. You know what? This is all shader stuff, too. All this down here. So I'm going to do the same thing. We're just going to comment all of this stuff out. Man, I really did come up with a lot of shaders in my journey. I think you might need dispose. I may bring it back, but I think I don't need dispose for the initial. So I'm getting a baseline right now, a baseline just renderer that's going to render. You know, it's going to do a basic. You know, just bring the model up. I'm not going to do texture swapping or anything like that. No, I'm pretty sure it's required. I mean, it may be. I have my other mod over here, so I didn't see it initially. So, and it may not be because iDisposable is what brings up disposed, and you need that with render. So I'm not sure. The basic shape entity shape renderer, I don't remember seeing exposed in there. But who knows? It may be. Let's go. And you also have to think, I'm extending entity shape renderers, so if there's an expose in here, I don't have to override that. Override renderer? Okay. Yeah, it's going to be upset because I'm not implementing things. I'm commenting things out. I'm going to be commenting out that stuff too. Because I'm not ready to put like any kind of shaders on or anything. So that's going to be upset. This, I'm trying to get just a baseline so I can pull up the model. And then from there, I will re-enable certain things because I'm going to have to comb through that stuff anyways. Since I did a copy and paste. Remember, what I copied over was one of my spell. This is actually, I copied the AoE healing spell entity. So that didn't really have a shape renderer with it. So this doesn't have any shape renderer specific stuff in it yet. This was just the actual shaders and particles and things like that. And you do need to dispose your shaders, which is why you have to do iDisposable. iRenderer is also the way I do the shape renderer. You know, the shaders is through this iRenderer, because I have it like locked to the screen, and I have it based on that position and your character's position to render it, you know, so you see it a certain way when you move. So yeah, long story short, these I could just comment this out right now because I want to focus on just getting the entity shape renderer up and running. Which means all of this stuff here we're gonna be commenting out, because I have specific things for every element. Oh, the old light and dark renderers. Oh, I remember them. Okay, and these are other things, so I gotta comment out. There's a lot with the shaders, man. There's a lot. All right, let's scroll to the top. I think I'm just gonna comment that out too. Keep it all together. I'll bring it back if I need to. Damn it! Had a feeling something was gonna screw up. All right, so for this, I'm gonna comment it out this way. All right, what's next? Of course, I think it's gonna be the same thing. Like, what, 7 more times? Yeah, I'm just gonna delete it out. I don't think I'm gonna be using it. So this, I'm gonna delete this out. Delete that out. Delete that. Oh my god, I gotta do this so many times. This is what I get for not cleaning up my code after I get something working. That. I just want all this stuff commented out. Yeah, comment out everything. You just want me to start this whole thing over. You missed it. You missed it, Bernardo. At the start of this mod overhaul, I did disable virtually all the items. Disabled everything. You would have loved it. Burned it all down. It was no magic mod anymore. Oh my god, how many more of these do I have? Okay, we're getting towards the end. All right, we're getting towards the end. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so we're on the nature stuff. Yeah, so we're 2 elements away from being done. Nature has 3 shaders, I think, to make that effect. Or 4. 4, I think it's 4. You did the right thing, yeah. You should have left it all out. You're contributing to the problem. Right? Am I contributing to the problem? Damn. I think I'm gonna rewrite this. I'm gonna have it to where all of this lives in one place, and maybe I just extend from that. Maybe that's what we do instead. This one had 2. Okay, we're down to the last 3. Two. Oh, there we go. And oh, looks like the rest of it's good. Okay, so all of that stuff is boop gone. Gone. Thank God. So really, this is kind of empty. This isn't going to do anything at all. I'm going to comment these out because I'm not using them right now. Okay, here we go. So, now I'm going to come over here. There's going to be a couple things that I want to comment out. Or not comment out, but migrate in. I'm going to have to bring in a public new event on entity tessellation on tessellation. I'm going to want to bring in... This will be the new bottom. I want to bring in a new event listener here for reloading shapes. And... probably want to... Because I'm bringing in entity, I'm going to want to bring in entity... what did I call it? Elemental Fire RN. Instead of this monster, I'm going to create a variable up here, and I will say entity elemental fire. Instead of monster, the RN, instead of monster, it's going to be, I'll just say elemental creature. That will be the name. Copy. I need to hover over this, show potential fixes, import. There we go. Bam. Because I'm gonna, if I make any calls to this, I'm gonna have to be looking at certain trigger events, certain watched attributes. So I'm just gonna do like a cast, you know, from entity to my elemental creature. All right. We are going to want to bring in... let's comment, let's kind of minimize all this stuff. So, on entity loaded. So this is going to be mark shape modified. We are going to want to bring in tessellate shape. Absolutely. Boop. And we want the full tessellate shape. This basically extends the base games on tessellation. I'm going to pick this apart when we want to do texture swapping. So basically, when I start putting in the variants, I will pull up in the texture atlas, I will rekey, you know, like the regular like fire elemental overlay to be like the azure one for that type of element. So we would actually do that, I believe, right after or a little before this section here for on text source. It's the same way that I paint my machines, but that's more of a dynamic paint. And I think I need to put in maybe a couple other things. Hold on. So I'm not going to render anything on the model yet. And I don't think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm not going to do anything there. So there are things I can do where I can give this an inventory. And I can have it to where if it's holding a certain item, I can have that register. So it could be like a sword in the hand of the elementals. It could be the appearance of armor. I'm not going to put that stuff in yet because, again, I just want to make sure that this loads the shape. Right? We're trying to get this thing to live in the world. So we could save that. I think that's going to be all that I need. And again, right, extending entity shape renderer covers a lot of our bases. We're automatically getting the entity renderer, the texture position. Yeah, see, there is no I dispose in here. There is... So on ready mesh, it actually will dispose the mesh. But we're not... Okay, so it looks like we do override it. This nanotech, this is why I don't have to have it, because I'm not extending the override to add my own things to dispose. This is already going to take care of the shape and everything else for me. See, it will undo this listener as well. Chat messages, gear modified, so it does all that for me. So that's why I extend that. I don't want to rewrite the wheel here, because I'd have to put like the swivel, right, the pitch, all this stuff in here. Why do that, right? So technically, yes, you are right. You do have to have it unless you just extend it. I'm lazy when I can be. All right, so let's go back into our creature, right? So now we're going to use our new shape renderer. We need to import the shape here. So let's scroll up into shapes. So it's going to be shapes, entities. I'm going to add a new folder. Creatures. Add a new subfolder in here. And this is going to be elementals. And it's going to be right in here. So what I'm going to do is actually open up File Explorer right here. And I'm going to... Where is it? Well, I got to find my shape, the elemental shape. Copy, paste, right? So that's going to be my elemental shape. I need to now go in here. We are going to see the things that are not added, and I'm going to add this, include it in project. Boom, there it is. For this particular thing, I will leave it as generic elemental. You know, I'll name it elemental creature. That way I know it's an entity, like a creature entity. Even though it's in the subfolder, you know, I think I'm gonna name it like that. Oh, I have staff 1, 2, and 3. You know what? Let's take a look at those here. So let's go File, New. I kind of want to see the new staffs here. Okay, so that's the one. Yep, I got that. Open, make sure I'm not leaving anything out. Okay, so that's the druid staff. You know what? Yeah, not bad. I may take a little more from that. Let's go open. What's staff 3? I think that's the... Yeah, this is the staff that has to go in as well. Yeah, so that's the other staff that's got to go in. All right. I just wanted to test, see what else was in that folder. So everything is keyed for Granite 1. And then we got material, Granite 1, material. I think it's just those two things. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so let's close that out. So we got that in. We need to point to it now. So it's going to be entity / creature / elemental / elemental creature. All right, all of this stuff I'm just gonna delete. We are starting fresh, as fresh can be. And I'm gonna get rid of all of that stuff. I'm just gonna make it a wild card for now. So I like to have default in there. I don't like to have nulls if I can have help it. I would like to map things out because there are gonna be times like if I use this model to try and put something on a shelf, there's a chance that the shelf can cause a crash. I found it's because every once in a while it just doesn't like to handle null in the shape when it's rendering it. It would rather see an empty texture. So default is literally I think it's like an 8x8 or 16x16, and it's just transparent. It's deleted out. It's empty. So I always have a default key in there. Because who knows? I may turn the elemental creatures into like a placeable, you know, like statue. I want to keep my options open. Maybe you can get a comfort doll in the form of an elemental. Set it on your bed. Alright, so I need to map 2 things here. One's going to be Granite 1, the other one's going to be material. Let me get those textures. I got to open up my handy dandy file again. Textures! Lightning extras. Hold on, what is some of this stuff here? okay, okay. So these are some of my extra crystals. Yeah, those are the crystals there. And then we got the nature. Okay, so we got those. And I think I got the staff skins here. So I think I'm gonna have to mess around and create the textures. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. Unless, no, these are just like ciphers. Yeah, different tints for ciphers. Okay. So I'm gonna close this out for now. For now, I will map these textures a certain way. Let me look to see what textures I already have. I think we should use enchanted stone as a good baseline. We will use the resources enchanted stone. There we go. So this is what I'm going to want. Why don't I just open up enchanted stone and do a copy and paste? There we go. So we'll have it look like a regular rock. And we'll paste that in. I gotta get rid of some things here, so this would be none, and variant would be rock of any kind. For the material, I will look at giving it one of the elemental textures. So let's scroll down. Runes on the surface of the elemental would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's what she said. I don't get this, but it randomly chimes in. Sometimes it's a hit. Sometimes it's a complete miss. Moobot missed this time. Moobot, I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. Where are all my elementals again? Where do I have this stuff? I think, there we go. Is it elemental crystals? Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. No, that's not. Because gravity healing. So crystals, arcane blood, earth. Okay, I think this is, yeah, this is what I want. Shoot. You know what? For now, it's going to be all rock. Because I'm probably going to have to do some remapping. I'm disappointed. That's what she said. There you go, Nanotech. You're hired. You're hired. I think there may be some other issues here as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be upset with some of the AI tasks that I have. So I will get rid of some things like the breakdown door. We'll get rid of that. This is just a straight blunt attack, but I'm using specific bits of AI there. Let's comment these out as well. Crushing blow, we're gonna get rid of that altogether. Here we go. Oh, that's right. Even my Seek. The Seek is also special. I want this thing to be almost brain dead. I want it to wander around. It does not need to go into despair. It should be proud of its existence. Yep, it can stand around, look idle. I think the daytime sleeping I think is fine as well, but I'm actually just going to get rid of that. Yeah, we'll get rid of this as well. Because I'm using a special AI task for that as well. So we're gonna be making these smarter than the average creature. They're not gonna be like the monsters in the game, in the base game, to where they can just smell you through all the blocks and everything and start like trying to, you know, run towards you. They're gonna need line of sight and to be close to you to be able to aggro onto you. So you'll be safe in your house. You won't have to worry about opening up the door and there's like 20 monsters just waiting for you. So I think that'll be fine. Harvestable, we took care of that. I think the rest of this should be good to go, except for the sounds. I will comment out those sounds because I know they're just going to error out because I don't have monster sounds yet. Build. What'd you got for me? Success! Let's see. Oh, wait, I didn't create the item. We can't... I don't want to spawn this with a command. Let's create the item as well. Totally forgot about that. So to do that, oh, you know what? Let's change the music here. Let's kind of go deeper in the track. There we go. That's good. Okay, so I need to create the item. Let's go into let's start minimizing. So okay, so here we go. Entities. Add a folder. This is going to be creatures. Add my subfolder. Elementals. I'm just going to copy netherite, put it in, and we're going to rename this elemental creature fire. Or I should just say elemental fire, right? Because that's the legit name of it. Alright, we're going to open this up. I'm going to do an old copy-paste here. Copy. Paste. Alright, so a lot of this stuff is going to have to mimic this right here. For like the subtypes and everything. So I'm going to move this over, and the first thing that we are going to be doing is copying this out and pasting it here. Item creature, instead of EM, I will call it RM. I will create a class for this. Max is 64. Sure, why not? I'm actually going to move this down here. Okay, inventory. Instead of Eldritch Monsters, it's going to be Rustbound Magic. Actually, I think it's going to be... Yeah, it's just regular Rustbound Magic. It's that. Alright, now the shape is going to be the same. Right over here. These are going to be the same as well, so the by type. I'm gonna have to paste that in. Attributes by type. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with the attributes, but I'll keep that in there. And I think that's about it. This stuff I can adjust while the game's running. Now, item creature RM. We have to create that class file. Where do I want to put it? It's not really a resource. Maybe in item? I'm going to create a new folder. Entity. Add folder. This will be creature, right? This will be elemental. And I'll copy Arcanus, paste it in. What did I name this? There we go. Item creature RM. Let's get rid of that. No. All right, let's paste this in, paste that in, and paste that in. I think this is only going to be responsible for any kind of held in like information that I want to put in there. We do have to register this. Let's go up to our item class here. I'm gonna do API dot register item class. I'm gonna paste this in, name. There we go, look at that! Perfect. And I'm going to just verify that I'm not doing anything fancy in here. I don't think I am, but I could be. Yeah, it's get held info, the animation, get held item stack information. Yeah, so a lot of this stuff isn't really what I want. Oh, you know what? On held interact start, there is something special that we need to do. Duh, we need to spawn the creature, right? I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait a minute, there is something more that I need. And the rest of it is like on held information. Okay, so let's go through this because we're gonna have to audit this a little bit. We're gonna have to make some changes, right? So asset location, I'm building it out with the domain, comma. I may end up changing this. I don't like doing asset locations like this. And then we're gonna say this first code part, substring 4. Ooh, that's right, because I was doing stuff a very particular way. So what was I doing? I think I was getting rid of the item in the beginning of the name. Let me just look here. Yeah, because my monster, it was like item and then monster hollow surface, so I would have to. Yeah, you know, that's actually a good idea. Good job, Past Vice. We're gonna do that. Let's go back into the items. So I will say item elemental creature fire, and I will put in item elemental creature, or item fire elemental. That's what I want, fire elemental. We're doing an awful lot of stuff without starting up the game to check to see if we're right. We're playing on the edge. All right, a dash, and then we're gonna have the second code part, first code part in the second position. I think that's all we need, right? Because we're gonna have this, and then we're gonna have the variant. So the rest of this, I literally do not care about. So I can pop out something like this, right, to complete it. All right, so type, we're gonna get the type. And then I want something that says if there's no such entity, that's kind of a for me thing. And then let me know that I've done screwed up. We need to bring in the data structures for Vintage Story. We're going to create the entity. Let's make this full screen. There we go. Now I can see it all. So we're going to set positional data. Set before falling, where it's originally placed. This part that doesn't have any kind of guarded stuff, so that is because this is from the familiar system. I wanted a tie-in for AI logic so it can like guard you and protect you on top of logic that will, of course, like when you attack something, it will help you attack things. So I'm going to keep this in. It's going to do nothing because I don't have the set guarded entity attribute in the JSON yet. That's why this section is, you know, like here, right? Like I would put it in here. So I think that's everything. I commented that, right? Like I registered that. Let's build. Let's see what blows up. Let's start the game. Let's go into the world that I just trashed and destroyed all of the entities here and all my block entities. Oh, syntax error. Hold on. By behavior. Wait, on drop top. Print screen. There, got it. Okay, on behavior 9, drops by type. Oh. Okay, yeah. Totally. Let's take a look at that. Boop. That was quick. Damn it. It's gonna be down here. Oh yeah, look at that. I've messed up. There we go. Let's see if it likes that a little better. Reload. Yeah, okay, that's better. It doesn't mean it works. It means that the game doesn't immediately reject it. Well, that can is gone. Time to open up another. Man, this can got kind of warm. All right, let's see what our new creature looks like. Hey, it looks like the shape is right. Texturing's right. Ah, there we go. So I need to link the animations. Damn, it's running fast. It's like it's running on ice. All right, so basics, all right? Get back here. So we got some work to do. We got some work to do. Let's link up some of the animations here. All right. Let's pull up a couple of things, shall we? So for elemental, you know what? I wanna save and log out because I want to add a couple textures to help make it look a little better initially. Add a new folder. So instead of crystals, this will be elements. I'll just name it elements. And I'm going to do like a down and dirty. I'll just do like element dash fire. All right. For, you know, I don't need anything more than just fire right now. And this isn't going to be a final thing. I just want a separation in color. I don't want any kind of transparency. So I guess that will be fine for now. And hitting me up with the jams. I'm going to scroll back up here. So I'm going to point to this new section. So this is going to be blocks. Elemental slash element slash element dash fire. I'll put the asterisk there and I'll put a 1 at the end because I may map different fires. I want everything to maybe look a little different, right? That also means that if I change it here, I need to go into the item and we need to change it in here too. Okay, now let's pull up the shape. And scroll down. All right, so we have an attack. I want to start. Okay, here we go. So we have the move. Whoops. We have a dead. We have the idle. and we have attack. So I have to map these accordingly. So I'm going to move this over. And I have to go into the behaviors. Where is it? Here we go. Right, so there's not a hurt yet, so it's not going to do anything. I do have a die. So I have to change this to dead. Right? We do have an idle. So I'll just change it here. So that's idle. And let's keep scrolling down. We have to go into the AI tasks now. Get out of water. I'm going to get rid of that for now. You know what? I'm not. I will call it move, though. Right? Is that what I named it? I named it move. Oh, wait. I didn't even set it yet. So, and you know what? I'm going to call it walk instead. So instead of move, it'll be walk. I just like it a little better. Which also means that this would be walk as well. And then look around. I do not have a particular look around, but I think that'll be fine. And then attack, I will save that for later, right? So let's save this. Let's rebuild. Oh, I guess it... Oh, okay, I guess it's rebuilt. Cool. What is this? Oh, this is my dummy shape. Nah. Wait, did I move that dummy shape? Hold on. No, okay, it's still in the group. Like, why was it up? Let's see what this thing looks like now. So I think I want different versions of this. I want a flying one that will shoot a projectile. I want one that does like melee elemental damage. And I kind of like the idea of having like a little piece of crap one that's like a... That's like like a creeper that explodes. All right, so we could see some of the fire coming through. I do want to remap some of the stuff on the back. There we go. But now it's kind of like looks a little more alive. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Oh, so what is it? What is it doing? It's swimming! Interesting. I do have to make it, like, wander a little slower. This is way too quick. Yeah, I mean, look at it. Look at it just, like, flying around. All right, let's make it slower. I don't need this open anymore. I'm going to start closing out some of the stuff that I do not need anymore. Oh, no wonder why. I'm just going to comment those out. Speed by type. Animation speed by type as well. Preferred light level of 7. I don't need that either. I don't want these to, like, prefer darkness and try and go into, like, darkness. They're elementals, right? Like, they don't care about that. So let's see what that looks like. Get out of water needs to have a little pep in its step. All right, let's see what that looks like. Reload. So it should significantly slow them down. It may be too slow, though. Possibly. Put on. There we go. Different song. That feels better. It like glides. I do like that. I like that. Are you just idling there? Let's get for brain. What do I even have this stone here for? Oh, I was looking to see the enchanted stone pattern. It's still doing a little too much. I'm gonna have to, of course, adjust the AI for this. I have to adjust the hitbox as well, because I guarantee you this hitbox is horrible. You know what? Just for the lulz, let's take a look at the hitbox. And the hitbox, of course, is going to be like what you have to hit and what you need to interact with. Let's see how bad it is. It's going to be really bad. Show hitboxes. Why memorize all this stuff when you could just copy pasta it? You know what? It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be, but it does need to be beefier. Oh, you know why it's doing that? Because it's actually flying right now. Because gravity! Oh, duh! These things don't have gravity, right? Let me look. I totally forgot to turn on gravity for these things. Which means that its speeds and everything are going to drastically change now. Because I put in some of the logic for a flying creature. So let's go into a creature elemental. What the hell? Oh, I never renamed it. Oh no, we gotta shut down the game. All right, let's save and quit. Save and quit. Quit. Totally forgot to rename the file. There we go. And I bet if we go in here, yeah, apply gravity false. Let's set that to true, right? Oh, true. Jeez, man. My typos are horrible sometimes. Just imagine bursts of particles coming out of this, right? These elementals are gonna be they're gonna be muy bien. All right, let's hop back in. Let's see how they react now. I bet you they don't glide everywhere now when they stop. I bet they actually like stop for realsies. On the old fashioned. I'm envisioning the creeper version of these things. I can't wait to have something like that where it could just like explode on you. It could do the particles for like the AoE. Is its movement speed like way too low now? Because I have it at like 0.001, I think. For good reason, right? Because I didn't have gravity on. Let's pull this back up. Yeah, see now it can't really move. I can like bump into it. But yeah, now it's lost its ability to move. So let's go into here. Yeah, look, see, movement speed's like really low. I bet if we put like a 1 here. Let's try that. Let's try that. Animation speed's actually pretty good. Let's reload. Unfortunately, I think every time you reload, you have to put that command back in, which is why I made it a copy-paste thing. Check my cellular device, see if I've been getting any texts. Ah, I got a text. We go. Oh, guys, too. I'm gonna have some live streams soon playing World of Warcraft. That new expansion. Oh my god, I can't wait to play it. I can't wait. I've been good though. I've been sitting here I'm like I'll let you guys sort out, you know, the jackassery, right? Like you get all the systems online, then I will play. I can't wait. It's looking good. Good. I know some people out there may not like it, but I have history with that game. I have history. I used to date it back in the day. Idle, average. So those are the animation speeds. I think I'm missing something for the movement. And it's probably something up here. Can climb? Yes. I think can climb is going to be like ladders and stuff. I'll leave that for now. See, can climb anywhere would be set to true to make it like go up walls and stuff. Oh, maybe the walk speed multiplier. You know what? I think this is biting me right now. Because I don't have that fully fleshed out, right? So we're gonna have to save and quit. Quit. Because I just commented out the entire method. And I want to change the name now that we're not running the game. Let's go in entities. So instead of ground elemental, I want it to be entity elemental fire, right? Because that's what this really is. There we go. Build success. Come on, load, baby. Oh, missing mapping for texture code. Well, that fixed that, but I guess 1.0 is too much, you would think. So it can move now, so maybe that original... Maybe Past Vice knew what he was doing. There we go. Let's put that back to 0 and let's put that back to 1. Past Vice kind of new, right? Oh wait, and I gotta reload. So this elemental thing that you're seeing, this is gonna be more of a boss, not boss, but one of the evolved creatures. This one's gonna be harder to kill. It's not gonna be the thing that spawns often. I'm gonna have a smaller version. I think I want to do drifters as well. That's better. Look at that movement. That is much better.
This one place.
Yeah.
So I reached out to car dealership because I didn't think about it.
And I'm back. Talk about car dealership stuff. I don't want to say it too loud, but I'm looking for another car. I don't want my car to hear it and suddenly, you know, clunk out on me. Alright, so that looks more natural for the movement. That's pretty good. What is this? Let's go back over where the world makes sense. So these are going to be the kind of crystals that it's going to have on them, embedded in them. Not bad. Not bad. All right, I need a gate. I need a gate for you. I don't know why I just spawned you. You know what? Admin sword. I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. It has come to this. Let's fix that. So the death animation, it needs to pause at the end of it. This, I don't think, is pausing at the end of it. Pause. Uncontrolled dead triggered by, so that would be the dead animation. What I need to do is... Idiots! Oh my goodness! Open. Let's navigate to my shapes. How you doing, Oats? All right, open. So let's go into keyframe. Dead. And we need to go into here. So dead doesn't repeat, it needs to hold at the end of the animation. File, save. Now let's reload. Man, Runestone Basic. There we go. You learn. All right, I'll actually get a gate. Actually, let's fix this because this is making my it's making it take longer to load. Is the new runestone blocks here? Yeah, because I gotta fix the mapping here. Forgot to take my medication last night, so I have a mega headache. Ah, man, that sucks, Oats. That's rough, man. Eesh. Eesh. What am I fixing? Oh yeah, runestone. Let's go into block. I'm doing like too many things at once here. Too many things. Runestone. Where is it? Where is it? Where is the runestone? I wouldn't have kept. I kept it in work in progress. No. Okay, wait a minute. Where's the real runestone? To sort. Runestone, there it is. True. Okay, this is the one. How about instead of to sort, let's go ahead and put it in stations. Oh wait, I can't because the game is running. I hate that. I hate that so much. All right, runestone, let's move to stations. Because it's really a station upgrade. Oh, I totally forgot to get the... Oh, no. I forgot to write down the key that it had an issue with. For the mapping. Oh, man, we gotta start the game back up. Yep, gotta start it back up. Lame. Let's hop back in. It's gonna spam with a bunch of... because I'm missing a texture mapping. Come on. Tell me your secrets. There it is. So it's looking for corner brace. So it's specifically looking for this. And reload. Go back up. Well done, Vice, right? Well, I was going to keep working on this, but when I walked in to start live streaming, I decided to... I decided to work on creatures instead. I wanted to do something different. So you'll notice this is going to be the new runestone. Each time you place it down, like in the position, it's going to have a different rune encircling it. And it's going to pick from one of the 16 runes at random. So, did you order food? No, I didn't. Nope, did not order food. Although I am getting hungry. So it's going to be like this on all the faces, so I was just lining it up. Yep. Hey, Menaway! What is up? Fancy, right? And then this was like the mock version. I'm remapping this because I think I'm going to set this to the X part to be transparent. I think it actually looks better. And then this is a texture behind the rune. I can change that as well. This is the way. Yeah. We're working on creatures. Oh, that's right. I need to get a pen set up. I will put it right over to the side here. Let's get some fence. This poor thing, it's gonna be begging for death by the time we're done with it. I feel bad saying, but like with the revive spell and the fact that I like test the spells on him, it's gonna be a sad existence for this thing. I feel bad. Even the sweet release of death will not save it. Please just let me go. There was one of my friends sent me a short, like a video, and it's like a Dungeons and Dragons thing, right? And basically it's like the beefy warrior. It's like a hag who's like trying to finish the spell of immortality. And it's like, it's got the child and it's trying to put the child in the cauldron for the last recipe. And it turns out like the guy's like reciting the book, you know, like, oh, the hag cannot finish, if you know, it's going on, and it's like, oh, curses, if only my sisters were alive. And it's like, or it's like, where's my seeing eye? And then he like destroys it, and then it's like, fine, and it tries to do magic, and its other sisters are like dead, and it's using it as like nunchucks. And then it's like, oh, curse you, if only I had the potion, I'd be able to defeat you. And the barbarian rips a lock of the girl's hair off and throws it into the cauldron. He's like, drink it, right? And the hag becomes immortal. And then it's like, finally! And he's like, good, I like my playthings to be durable. And he turns to close the door, and it's like another immortal hag, like spiked, right? And it's just like, you fool! So hilarious. I'm describing it horribly, but oh my god, it was hilarious. It made me laugh so hard. A little late, but I'm binging Stranger Things. Got verbally thumped because I haven't seen it, so I went on season 3 now. I haven't seen it either, honestly. I've looked at it and I've kind of side-eye it, like, I don't know. We need to increase the hitbox so it doesn't look so weird when it's colliding with things. I think that is the way. So let's pull up hitboxes. Actually, I know You know what? Let's just pull up the command to show hitboxes. There we go. And this is why it's kind of glitching through. So I think I want it to be a, dare I say, a 3x3 for this, the size of this beast, and then a little higher than. Okay, so I think I got it here. Let's get rid of runestone. Let's move this here. So the hitbox size. Maybe, you know what, let's do a 1.5, I think is what I'm gonna have to do. And then let's just make this a 3.0. Let's give that a try. Reload. That seems big. I want it to be big. Or else the model is going to glitch into things. So this is going to be a big creature. Like, you notice, like, it's kind of glitching through the fence. I want it to where the model is contained. Oh, and of course, because I increased the size, and it was right right near the edge. I'm sorry. Sorry. I gotta fix that speed. There we go. All right, let's take a look now. That is better. See, its hands aren't like all the way in the gate, because it's, imagine this as a whole wall, like rock wall too. Like, do you want this thing like glitching through your window? You know what I mean? You want to somewhat match the form of the entity? Yeah. And I think that's pretty good. You know, it may be a little too tall. I think I could shrink it, because there's not really the concept of like a headshot in this anyways. And you're going to be hitting it from up here, right? I think I could shrink it a little bit. If it could just stop wandering for a little, just for a little bit, please. Please. Come on, just stay. There we go. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need to nitpick that yet. All right. So we have the basic. So what do I want to do with this thing? 2.8. Yeah, I could just fish in a 2.8 now. I mean, we're here, right? Better that than to come back, because I know myself, I'm not coming back to it. I think if it's just a little lower, that way it's at least level with its head. And that also means that there'll be a little more give for going into a 3 high space, right? Yeah. Ah! All right, let's see now. I mean, that does look a lot better. Let's let it stand. I expect it to be like a little above, but again, there isn't really a concept of like a headshot in this. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's fine. I think that's good. That's good. Because when you're fighting, you're going to be fighting from this angle anyways. So you looking up and trying to hit its head, it is going to register, right? Yeah. So perfect. All right, so we got that. Now we can either start expanding the AI, or we can start, because if there's some things here that need to actually reflect red crystals as well in the elemental, we can give it attacks as well. We can start mapping out the attacks. I'm thinking with these, oh, look at the dead hitbox size. Let's increase that a little bit. Let's make it as wide. And let's make it like 1 tall, right? It's gonna be a pile of rocks. And let's set the animation speed on death as well. Come on, where is it? There we go. Dead. Animation speed, I mean, let's make it a little more dramatic, right? Did you just do the Minecraft villager sound? I did not. Now I did. I don't know, maybe I did. Who knows? Huh. To be fair, the villagers have done a Vice sound for years. There we go. Then it collapses. The new hitbox, of course, because I copied and pasted, right? Copy, paste. I got it backwards. Oh, that's horribly bad. I meant to do this, and this would be 1.5. Horrible. Reload. Try again. Better luck next time. Copy. All right, let me see that death animation. That, I think, is a better little chunk here. Harvest! Sweet. And shit, I just drank the last bottle of my mom's quality mead. Oh no! Mead, huh? It's interesting going to some of the Ren fairs when it's like Wine Fest. They have like all the fancy meads and stuff. It's always in like where I am. It's in this like kind of like a big like it's like an outdoor area that's outside of the Renaissance Fair, right? So you have to go out. There's a gift shop kind of just outside, right? But you have to go out and then grab your mead or whatever, and then you can like bring it in. It's weird. Yeah, my mom makes a banger honey wine. That's awesome. I make cheese. Actually, I do more leatherworking than you know, wine making. Legal issues, it could very well be. It could also be a space thing. The Ren fair that I go to, they build it in a forest, which is pretty cool. But a lot of that stuff is kind of statically set among the trees, and it's the Wine Fest, right? So it's one of the weekends, because each weekend's a different themed weekend. So it would make sense that they would have something specific like the wine, because you're going to need more space, right? Because people get sloshed doing the tastings, and they're like, "Give me a bottle of this," right? You know, it's a lot different than like they have like a soap shop too that just has a lot of space, because you know they sell like 50,000 different types of freaking soaps. But it could be that. It may not be a legal thing. Because you could still bring it in. If it's a legal thing, then, you know, they would... You know what I mean? Like, it's all still the Ren Fair property. Usually make a regular 30 liters of simple mead. That's pretty cool. But the stuff my mom makes is so good. That's really cool. That's a good skill. Alright, what do we want to work on with you? Tell me your secrets. Do you want more brains? Should we do that? Huh? You shaking your head yes? Should we do some animations? I mean, you got an attack animation. What should your abilities be? You should obviously have a melee attack, but I want to give it a special ability. Let's pull up my text file. Where is it? I haven't opened it up in a little while, so it's probably further down. I gotta start mapping this out. Here we go. The rewrite. This is the Holy Grail, right? So I'm gonna make a section for elemental creatures. I want one type. I'll just do types. Here we go. We will have big elemental. All right, let's do tab attacks. Let's not tab it out. Tab's gonna take up 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. So the different attacks that this will have. One's gonna be a melee. Maybe a melee crushing question mark, or melee elemental strike, right? Something big like that. I kind of want like a mechanic where it does an AoE, like an AoE kind of, like where it's going to like slam down, and then I want it to like channel a spell, like, because I have my AoE spells as is. Are those still registered in the game? I think I could pull them out here. No, you know what? I don't have them migrated over yet. They would have been down here, so I did disable them. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was going to show it, but it's basically like a big like AoE explosion. I can have them do that too. And I think that would be pretty good for like a slam attack. I don't want to give them range, or do I? Maybe they should hurl a fireball or whatever their element is at you. I don't know. So I guess I have to think about the different types, right? So I could say I'd like the idea of having like a variant, like a drifter variant. So you'll have like a fire infused drifter, arcane infused drifter, right? Things like that. So I want a flying type. Flying elemental, that for attacks would have yeah, I could just do tab at this point. So for this, like, it would have I hate when it tries to autocorrect things. Maybe a projectile, right? No, I did it wrong here. So for this one, for the flying, it should have a projectile. I kind of want a small ground type. And then this would be a big ground type. Auto carrot is my Earth can be durable with 1 tile rotation on the big slam attack. Fire can hurl fireballs, or just a dot aura for shits and giggles. Yeah, and having an aura would be a good idea too. I'm thinking maybe like the, you know, so projectile, damage aura. I think a lot of, like, anything that's ground would probably want a melee attack of some type, right? I want it to, because it's going to be like chasing after you. The flying elementals, I want them to have a combo of things, right? I want them to have like their version of a melee attack, but I also want them to default to like the projectiles as well. And maybe a damaging aura, which would be why they would want to get close to you. For this, I mean, we could pop this here. Let's do maybe a slam AoE. Maybe these guys can do melee. I may classify projectile here, right? So projectile would be a weak. Weak and rare. This would be mid DMG and common attack. And this would be like an if close, but let's do weak. I think maybe its damaging aura would be... You know, maybe it doesn't need... I don't think it needs a melee attack. I think the fact that I will make it go towards you with a damage aura is enough. And the fact that it will shoot the projectiles at you. I do want to make a version of this, but we'll just say Reaper type. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but I want it to serve a singular purpose. Explosions. Fucking type. Tossing out shit you can sort through for inspiration. Yeah, I'm thinking for, like, when I say projectile, whatever the element is. So if it's a fire, it's going to shoot the fireball. If it's fire, right, and it does, like, the AoE slam or any kind of AoE, it's going to have my AoE fire spell. The same kind of stuff that you can cast as a player, right? They will innately have that. And the thing is, it'll be nice fighting these creatures because once you unlock the spells to, like, resist certain elements, their damage, you know, like if you have resist fire on and then it's doing fire attacks, that damage will be cut in half, right? Fire should only do dot because fire air is a little trickier. Water cause water pressure, could be physical. Earth is, well, physical crush damage. Yeah, well, I do have like an actual earth element as well. I can also lean into how these things spawn. I wanted to do like a seasonal thing. So, like, you know, summertime, like, you'll get fire elementals. Maybe spring, you'll have more lightning elementals. You know, obviously frost would be like winter, dead of winter. Nature, right, would be maybe a spring to summer, right? There would be like a couple months, right? Like 2 or 3 months where that elemental will spawn or have a chance of spawning. So it's going to be different as you go through the years. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah, there are 8 elementals. We have fire, water, wind, earth, lightning, frost, nature, and arcane. Why did I disable all of my scrolls? Seems like a weird thing for me to disable. Just saying. Let's go under spells. Scroll of binding. Tool spell scroll, is this? Yeah, this was it. Weird how I disabled it. Oh my god, if I misspell true again, it will be the next time I have to spell true. Let's reload. You know what? I think I disabled it because I was going to start rearranging the spells. And, that would cause a crash if you tried to, first of all, like, generating the scrolls, and then if that spell's not in the dictionary and you try and cast it, it would crash the game. So I think that's why I did it. There we go. But now I have all of these spells, right? So, you know, for instance, like the fireball spell. We'll see if I can cast it. Right? So this would be the kind of spell that, like, the fire elemental would cast, right? Not as powerful as that, but... and in the same vein, right? Yeah, Inferno. Here we go. Oh, Inferno's disabled. This is what I'm talking about. Can I just continue through? Are you gonna be kind? No! Actually, I don't think it's called Inferno. I think Inferno is the ground positional thing that I wanted to make. I think that one's work in progress. So, my bad. All right, let's start the game back up. I think it's called Nova. Nova's the one I want. So, like, I think it's like Fire Nova or something. Or something. Man, my Monday, I'm getting my collector's edition for the new WoW expansion. I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking, where am I going to display my stuff? So let's get rid of Inferno, because that's obviously a dead spell. Let's find, where's my Novas? Okay, or Explosion, Surge Strike, Electrocute. I think it's this, Incinerate is what I called it. Yeah, yep, it's Incinerate. Right, so this would be like the AoE, right? Boom! Boom! Wow, that actually did a lot of damage to it. But see, the thing is, being a fire elemental, I'm gonna put in the elemental system to where this thing will register as fire, so that fire attack will do half the amount of damage, but water will do like 1.5 times the damage. So if you attack a fire elemental with water spells, it will be more effective. Yeah, I have that stuff all mapped out already. And I'm like, oh, I like how it's evenly timed, because it's like as you're going through each month, not each month, but like each season, there'll be like 3 to 4 elementals that you get at a time, right? And it's like, let's say fire, for instance. In spring is when you start to see them, but the spawn rate's still kind of low. And summer is the peak when you'll see a lot more fire elementals, and then it tapers off back in the fall to where you start getting like very little, and then of course winter is none. So each element will revolve around and favor a certain kind of month, right? So, you know, it's like, so like nature, right? Nature, you know, like in spring, you'll start to see it, right? Summer, you know, it's a similar thing. Fall, you'll start to see that. Hello, Bearman. Damn, almost killed it. You know what? I got the revive spell. Oh, it went too far away. And this is why I pitied this thing, because right, it's dead. It can finally just be at peace, unless you're here. How could you let them do this to me? All right, let's arise, chicken. And then the animations will catch back up. There we go. It's got a sliver of health. Please, just kill me. Water plus earth equals nature. I guess you could do something like that. I'm not doing something like that. Because I did have the idea of having like lower type elemental stuff, and then 2 elements coming together to make a new. The problem with that is if the original stuff is too good, then no one's going to want to go through hoops to get a more advanced element. If the advanced elements are too good, then everyone's going to be one of like 3 kinds of elements out of my 8. Is there a Discord for this mod? I may need some assistance. Well, there is a Discord for this mod in the main game, or in the Vintage Story Discord. The assistance, if it's like a bug fix, I am pretty deep in the mod rewrite, so I'm not coming out with that. At 74 bug fixes for the current release was enough. But if it's something like a mechanic question or, you know, something like that, yeah, there's just look for Rustbound Magic in the main Discord. That reminds me, I have to repurpose my personal one because I want to migrate over to that. But yeah, that's where you should go. Bearman. I gotta redo these as well. There's so much to do. So much to do. Hey, look at that! Oh, in the update, having an eclipse for lunar magic, you're gonna want to know like the phase of the moon. I'm just saying that lunar magic's gonna be fun. So is the soul magic when I create them. All right. What are we doing? Elemental stuff, right? Oh, the body disappeared already. Oh no, wait, where'd it go? Oh, it's wandering around, right? Where'd it go? It ran away. I was too far away and it despawned. Because I have it in here to where if you're like too far away, they will, it's like between 32 and 64, I think, seconds. It will despawn. The further away you are, the shorter that time frame is. So like we'll see this thing disappear very soon because I'm pretty far away from it. All right, so that's good, I guess. Good to know. Full moon magic. Yeah, see, it just disappeared. I want to make my own storm, my own temporal storm. And I want to keep in line with the theme. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Bearman. I want to keep in line of the theme for the Eldritch thing. So my thought was, in the sky, you would see the big, like a big eye looking at you, and I want it to be like red tinted, kind of like a crimson kind of blood tint. And then it would spawn my creatures, right? I thought that would be fun. Yeah, I got so much to work on. So at least basic elementals are in. I need to put these crystals on them. We need to start adding different kinds. I think what I'll do is I'll do the fire elemental all the way through. And we'll get this, you know, I'll clean up the model. We'll add the animations. This will be the first type. I may actually make it to where the first, like the small elemental, is this same model. I could just shrink it down to where it's maybe a little smaller than the player. Maybe it comes up to like your chin, right? And then walk on the ground. And maybe they'll be like the faster version of these. These are going to be hard. They're going to be hardy. They're not going to spawn as often. If anything, I may make it a ritual to spawn these, to fight them. So basically you would, where are my rituals? Oh, duh. So, right, you would create like a pattern on the ground. And it would be like a ritual of elemental summoning, and then you would summon, right? And then it would spawn this thing, and then your boss fight would commence, right? And then once you kill them, you would get some pretty awesome stuff. I may make it to where it could drop spells. It could drop really good grimoires. It could drop maybe enchanted pages, and it's going to drop items that you could kind of consume, right? That you could use to increase your affinity to either the element. Oh, that's something. I got a lot of people here. I got a question for everyone. I want you to attune to the elements. Yeah, I'm missing some stuff here. Elemental stuff being stronger in their season is very good. Moon sun turning into an eye. Yeah, well, the sun would go away and it would be like a third celestial body. So it would be similar to the moon, but it would like kind of, you would see it like in the sky, just like staring at you, right? Like it's targeting you. That's what I want. What if the moon looked cracked open? Several eyes were showing in the cracks. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too, because I could reskin, you know, based on the event. But there are going to be times when the event would trigger that the moon may not be out. So I got to keep that in mind too. Force the moon out. Fire could just be a big lump of burning air. Elemental fragments and crystals from mining the corpse. Yeah. Actually, before in the current version of the mod, you would put stones down around a rift, and it would have the rust crystal. That's not going to be the case anymore. Now you get these fragments from killing my elementals. That's going to be how you get them primarily. Which is why I need to start putting them in, right? But yeah. So this is my question to everyone. I'm at an impasse, and I would like some feedback. I have 8 elements. The original idea was you can, by casting an elemental spell, so by casting and prioritizing like Fireball or the Fire Shield or the Fire AoE, you gain affinity in that element. It's like a secondary experience, and when you gain enough affinity, you can attune to that to become like a Fire Mage. And as a Fire Mage, you would gain benefits, and you would gain some. It's like a secondary class, right? So as a Fire Mage, maybe I run faster. My fire spells hit like 1.5 times the damage, right? So I hit harder. For some negatives, water magic, you could cast it, but you do less damage with it, right? So it does like 1.5 times less damage, 50% less damage, right? If you go out and if you submerge yourself in water, maybe you start taking damage, right? So swimming isn't really good for you. Maybe maybe when you go out when it rains, it slowly drains your mana, right? But maybe if you go out during the sun, or you know what I mean? Like during the day, maybe you can gain passive mana regen, right? Whatever that system looks like. But you attune to an element. So I can have it to where you can attune to one of these elements, or I can have it to where you attune to a group of elements, right? So maybe I call this one over here like you were a warlock or a destroyer or whatever the general class is, right? And you gain experience towards that by casting arcane, frost, and wind elements. And then when you attune, maybe with this, like if you get close to a devouring void, maybe you can get mana regen from it, right? Because you're that class. Maybe by casting these 3, you gain bonus damage for 3 elements, right? And then if you want to be like whatever the light is, priest, cleric. Oh, gotta head out. All right, see you later, Captain Oates. Could be separate celestial body. Yeah. Not less damage, longer cast time, bigger mana drain. Well, it could be any of those things, right? Because this is all ideas for now. But I need to know what direction I'm taking to even start working on the system. You cast with a focus, the damage might just cost more to do that. Yeah, but it's a pros and cons kind of thing. Now you could choose to not attune to anything and be a jack of all elements, right? But like this, you would gain fire, lightning, and nature. You would do more damage with. You know what I mean? With this one, even though there's only 2 elements, right? This could be earth and water. But I think for this one, you would gain a passive mana regen, right? Something that other classes may not get. So it all washes out even in the end, right? So should I do an attunement to an individual? Like, do people want to be a wind mage, a water mage, right? Or would you rather be like a warlock, you know what I mean? And then have multiple elements that you can attune to, right? It's like a magic path. I'm not fond of classes. Well, it's different, right? You're not picking this like you do a rust mage. This is more like you can attune to it. So this may not be something you answer. I do want to put it in. And it's not going to be something you need to do. If you want to be a jack of all trades, go for it. Nothing, you're not going to do like explosive damage, right? Because if you are fighting a fire elemental, right? And you are a neutral mage, right? So whatever I name that class, a mystic or whatever. So you do 1.5 times the damage of water, and you have the best water spell in the game, right? And you're buffed to do more damage, and you have a good spell. You are going to wreck the fire elemental monster. You are going to annihilate it. More so than if someone's unattuned. Sure, you can still have a good water spell. You can still cast, right? But, 4 hits for you, 1 to 2 hits for a skilled mage, right? Well, see, that's the thing. You are essentially a water mage, and you also can do earth magic, right? You would be an earth mage too, in this sense. It's basically a difference of, do I have 8 individual classes, right? Or, you know, like attunements, we'll say, right? And they're basically like a subclass for your magic. Like, do you practice, like, and have just 1 for 1? So, you know what? I'm an earth mage, and I only do earth magic really well, right? Or do people prefer the clustered approach, right? A generic name, right? Just to tie everything together. But basically, you become a master of wind, frost, and arcane magic, right? You become a master of you know, nature, lightning, and fire magic all in one. Yeah. So yeah, it in a sense, it is like a class, but it doesn't interfere with the class that you chose. You could be a commoner, you could be a blacksmith from someone else's mod, right? Like, you'll still get those perks. But with this, right, you're attuning to, you know, an element. So I just don't know what path to go down. Do I have 8 individual attunements, or do I cluster them together? And I'll have to source good names, you know, for like the darkness, for the light, and for the neutral path, right? The path of just regular magic, the mystic. So that's it right there. I guess people think about it. Think about it. What would be better? What would be more fun? I like the idea of clustering them, because I think having one element that you're really good at, it's neat, but it is kind of lacking, because there are multiple combinations out there, right? So if I'm just fire, I'm good against water. But what about if I come against a wind mage, or, you know, or not mage, but a wind elemental, a frost elemental, an arcane? Everything else is just regular damage, right? You're not, you know, this is your arch enemy. But if you attune to the light, right, and I'm like, oh, you know what? We need to take out a frost elemental. Hey, don't worry. I'm good at lightning too. Right? So lightning is the polar opposite there. It's like, oh man, you know, I need help killing the arcane boss, right? Hey, that's my specialty, right? Let me throw on some nature magic and we can wreck this thing, right? So it gives you more chances to combat neutral type and darkness type things being light, right? So it increases your repertoire a little bit. Name, so that's easy. Put my name on them all. Yeah, they're all called Bernardos. There's a Bernardo Alpha, Bernardo Beta, and a Bernardo Omega. There you go. I remember the attunement process. Remember the attunement system I presented before? Vaguely. I know this is the way I'm going to program it, is that as you, I can tie into when you attack and when you cast spells, right? So as you use the magic, you will have a hidden kind of experience. Well, hidden as in it's not going to be a bar on your heads-up display, your HUD, but you will be able to see your attunement level through a particular block. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna like attach it to. It may be your sanctum, but you'll be able to see your attunement, you know, status, I guess. And honestly, the way I envision you actually attuning is you have enough experience and you wait for that temporal storm, you build the multi-block structure, the gateway, and then by putting those crystals, right, and building that multi-block structure, wow, I'm tired. The temporal storm, there we go, will convert that into a portal, and then you can go through and attune to your element that way, or your archetype. I don't know what it's gonna be. What if I want to specialize in nature and arcane? That would be impossible, yeah, because they are polar opposites. The whole reason why I did it this way is because I don't want you to be God mode in both of these. Like, it's the way the system is, you know, let's use that as an example. If I do arcane damage to nature, it's going to do 1.5 times the damage. Vice versa, if I do arcane or nature damage to arcane, it does 1.5 times the damage. How am I going to create a system where you can do both? What happens when you take a hit? Do the two 1.5 times cancel out? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's a weird combination. So those two should not exist. It's like fire and water, right? It's like, well, I'm a fire water mage. Well, they're opposites. So what happens when you cast a spell to one, that's also the weakness to another? How do I handle those stats? You know what I mean? How do I handle the negative effects with that, right? Like, as a fire mage, you shouldn't want water at all, right? Yeah, see, then you're getting into like steam mages and all that stuff. I'm not doing that. You know, that's too much. The problem is, the more classes I make, the more I have to balance. Which is another reason why I don't want to do it this way and have 8 individual things, because that's 8 classes. It's going to be easy for 1 or 2 classes, right? Cream rises to the top, you know? So I don't want a scenario where everyone that plays the mod's like, hey, you gotta be water and earth because they are the most OP. Yeah, because of this one ability they got, right? It's easier to balance 3 than 8. And the whole subclass thing of like, well, these 2 elements mixed together to make one, that doesn't really work out too well either. And that's because unfortunately there are 8 elements, right? So the balance wheel is weird. Like, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, you know, these 3 rows, and this is the format that I like, right? Well, Eldritch is kind of the rust, right? Which is primordial magic. So that's the idea, right? That's the idea. So I just need to know which way I'm going, and then we can have a stream where I start bringing in the attunement system. I guess I'm not being too productive right now. We got this guy at least spawned in. I'm gonna have to change the name. I'm gonna have to figure out attacks. Probably have like a short... And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another type of drifter. You know, like elemental infused drifter variants. I feel like I see enough drifters in the game. I'm gonna comment that out. I don't want to see another type of drifter in the game. I'm sick of drifters. I'm tired of them. It's the only, like, you know, eldritch monster, right? The only eldritch type monster. I don't consider the machines, right? The locusts. I don't consider those eldritch. Maybe the bells, right? But the other things, it's like, okay, they're like 6-legged, you know, machines. Whatever. I don't really care about that. Thinking and brainstorming ideas is productive? Yeah, I mean, it is. It is. I haven't been too productive in writing code, is what I meant to say. Having thoughts presented to you for you to argue against is solidifying your thoughts and ideas. Yeah. Well, the other part of this is I also know what's going to work in the line of programming, right? And what some of the shortfalls may be to some things. I do get some good ideas, but not really for a mod like this. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, someone wanted it to make it to where, like, you know, when you attuned, you actually transformed and you could pick like your facial, you know, like a new like model for your person. And I'm like, why would I want to do that? That's a separate mod in itself. I don't know how to do all that. You know, like, do you want spells or do you want to just you know, because one person's like, well, druid, I should be able to shapeshift into a tiger and a bear. And I'm like, well, first of all, tigers are not in the base game. So I would have to create a whole new creature just for you to shapeshift into with all the AI and everything else. And on top of that, like shapeshifting into a bear, yeah, it gives you more health. Okay, World of Warcraft, I got you. But that doesn't really work here, because how OP is that going to be if you could just shapeshift into a bear? Why use magic? Just stay in bear form and literally maul everything to death, you know? Like that. That's not really the magic mod that I, you know, just because it's nature damage, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, you know? It's like nature healing. I'm like, well, nature can also be poison. It shouldn't be a soul healing class. You know? I just need to know what, you know, the attunements, right? Like, what way sounds better? I want to put attunements in. I wanted to put attunements in since, like, the last version of this mod. Just, you know, trying to fix things, and you know, it's like the rituals, right? Like, it's all evolving, because someone gives me a good idea and then I start implementing it, and it all felt disjointed, right? You know, rituals were like how you create things, but it shouldn't have been how you created like blocks and items. Synthesis, right? It's like, oh, you make spells and you make a bunch of items, right? So now you got two systems that you can make items. And oh, by the way, you can use your personal inventory to craft things and make items that way. So there's 3 ways, right? And then I had rituals, right? So which is another kind of world magic, and you could create things with rituals. So I have 4 systems, each doing something different to create a basic blocker item. It was getting kind of outlandish, right? Because it's like the good idea, and then I put it in, and I didn't think about it. And then here I am with a system to where if you want to learn magic, right, and get your grimoire, you have to learn like 4 different aspects of the game, and you're pretty much a tier 2 mage at that point, just casting transmutation before you get your first grimoire. It didn't feel good to me. I kind of like it. You are one of the maybe 2 to 3 people I've ever heard say they like that old system. Everyone else, like, I get messages where it's like, you know, you really need to fix the pace of the game. Like, you don't feel like a mage until you're pretty much tier 2 anyways. I'm like, yeesh. That's why I put in these wands, right? So you can cast these spells. Let's get rid of that, right? So oop. So now it's like, oh, insufficient mana. Oop. So now you can feel like a mage before, right? You don't need to know a grimoire. You can just do it through your staff. It's almost like, think of it like one of your, like an axe or a shovel. But, you know, and this is how you can start gaining your attunement. And then, of course, some other things, right? Staff of Ignite, that's gonna ignite your campfires and stuff. Watering Dew's gonna water plants. Honestly, I don't even know if these spells work. Oh, Fire Pit, right? I don't think I've tested these. Pit? Oh, there it is. Oh, I gotta get some wood. Firewood! So this should light this and statically set the temperature. Yep, to 250. Right, so this is like a much better fire starter. Did I just destroy it instead of putting it? I did. Oh, and I got bone versions too, right? Because I'm like, yeah, sure, you can have sticks, but if you use a bone in your shaft, right, then you actually gain more durability. Bones are going to be useful. It won't just be for necromancy, which I have a bad feeling that I will be putting in this mod at one point or another. It's too good of an idea. I want you to have a skeletal minion. I want you to be able to swap out like the core and the body parts and stuff to make it more durable. Like I've been envisioning this kind of familiar system, and I fear that I will be eventually putting it in. Just a heads up to everyone. So I got the basic elemental in. It needs a lot of work. I still need to decide how I'm going to do the classes. I guess I won't be able to work on that till I get some feedback on that. A lot of the entry-level stuff is kind of needs to be retuned. I need to separate out all of my spells. I also have to figure out the new mage armor as well, because I want it to grow with you. Yeah, the Spellforge. Okay, that's going to be the next thing I deal with is the Spellforge. So the idea behind the Spellforge... That's right. You would place a block down, you would create a cipher. Or no, not a cipher of a spell. You would have a blank cipher. You would put it in. And depending on the blocks that you have around you and the type of cipher you use will dictate what the element will be, right? Or the not the element. Well, possibly, right? It would dictate, like, if you're looking for a buff for run speed, or you're looking for, like, the fly spell or whatever. It's going to look at, like, the blocks that are placed around to influence the RNG chances. And from there, you would get your cipher, throw it into the Oculus, create your grimoire. So I think I'm gonna make this a multi-block structure. So let's pull out a basic runestone. What should this look like? I guess I need to look at it like this, right? You would have your runes here. Something on just either side, something simple. And then you would meditate. And then by looking at this, I'm sick of drifters too. Can you comment out all of them, please? Yeah, there you go. All right, so you would be in like your meditative state. And then you would start looking at this, and if all the conditions are met, your temporal stability, you would start to, like, it would start to glow. And then it would hit, right? It would consume your temporal stability. It would do a check of the blocks that are placed around. I love this little thing. So cool. All right, but let's say that makes it fly, right? So there's a 20% chance, because that's right there, that I can find the fly spell. I'll pretend I didn't hear about a bone glowing on someone. That's what she said. See, that's why. Nanotech, that's why we have Moobot right there. Thank you, Moozy. Or should this be something like... Should you, like, place a moonstone down? Or not moonstone, a runestone. And then, like, place it on top to, like, to do the check. Do you need to? I don't think you need to. In the model, I could knock out the base floor here so you could see the runestone underneath. I think that would be a nice touch. Maybe all of this could be kind of darkened, right? And I could do a texture swap kind of thing, so it could be powered off. And then by putting a runestone underneath it, maybe that would, like, light up, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe I should have it like this. and you kind of like sit down, right? Where you gotta like build out your floor too, and you got one on each side. I could put more of a back here, so there's, because it's positionally down. I gotta fix this, right? Because you would have your different runes. I like the color-coded runes. I don't think you need to change those. If it works, don't fix it kind of attitude. Are you talking about these, right? These rune stones? Yeah, like having the different colors. See, the thing is, there is no lesser, greater, superior, and celestial. I'm removing spell tiers. Like, in the way that we know them, right? So there's not going to be, like, for Arcanus, there's not, like, a, you know, lesser, greater, you know, just a different color kind of Arcanus. There is now just Arcanus, right? And actually, the Arcanus is, like, here now. Right, so I'm trying to get rid of that. So, like, now there's, like, the basic runestone, an advanced runestone, and a Mastercraft runestone. And I wanted to redo the model, so that's why. Like, I was sloppy before, so a lot of the stuff didn't line up exactly. So that's kind of what it is. So now, even though it looks the same, this part here, this inner part, is something I could disable or swap the textures on. The middle part, I can independently swap it on. The background here, the darkened background, that's a separate texture. This inside, like behind the rune, that's a separate texture. The runes themselves are separate textures. So I had to realign everything so I can really have fun and customize these blocks now. Just by mapping different textures to each section. So the idea is, like, the basic, I don't want the middle in there, right? It's going to be more basic. Maybe this one, you know, the next one's going to have, like, at least the, maybe the part in the middle. I may add something off to the side, right? So it looks more intricate. And then the Mastercraft one will have the full bar. I want the, you know, like, the rusty glow bits in it. I want it to pop, you know? And then, of course, you know, you'll have, like, your Bloodstone, you'll have your Moonstone. Those are the secret upgrades for these things that I won't point out, right? So you can use the Mastercraft, or you can use the specialty stuff to really enhance generation. And it will also change the behavior of these. So, like, for this, it'll generate light or essence faster, but it will only work at night, kind of thing, right? But it'll do it, like, ridiculously fast. I'm also going to be increasing the... It's not going to be 1,000 for the cap anymore. It's going to be more like 5,000 to 10,000 for the cap. So, yeah. And I love the changes I did here, right? It's off right now. And then when it's nighttime, right? The void comes alive. I freaking love that. And then the runes start, like, radiating too, you know, with the essence. And then this shuts off, right? So, like, all the particles are stopping, the shader stopped, and this is inert now. I freaking love that. Like color codes. Then just draw the runes on the actual runestones. With the chalk in game. I was thinking you have to actually draw runes on the runestones instead of crafting them with runes on them. Well, that's going to change too. That's the old way of doing it, where you did it through, like, you know, drawing your pattern, placing the block. Block creation's not going to be like that anymore. Runestones, it's hard. I looked into, you know, the system that allows you to do, like, the drawings on rock. I actually have it over here. That is a lot more complex than you may realize. And drawing, like, runes, they're only positioned, like, just on the ground. Because that was my first thought, is like, oh, well, what if you draw runes on them? That is way too much work. unfortunately. That's why I wanted to get creative. I'm like, well, what if I put like runes like in the corners? What if I put like a bigger rune in the middle? Like you know, this is still a work in progress. I have no idea what it's going to look like. But the other thing is, like, for the cave drawings, I don't really have a good way to, like, even if you draw something on there, first of all, people with OCD are going to have something off just a little bit, and they're going to be like, I hate this, you know? I can't line it up. How do you erase it, right? You know, like, are you going to break it? You know, break the block and place it back down? Not only that, it kind of makes it to where you can't really have other blocks like bunched up right next to it, right? So if there's like a wall here, you can't do that if you need to draw runes all around it, right? I was thinking about how you could draw the runes, but man, it was complex because that's a feature that I wanted for Magic Chalk. I'm like, well, the non-magic users, right? Have it to where they can just like draw on, you know, on the surface of things and do like my own magic cave drawings. It was not easy at all. So for now, right? This is the max so far. Because I got that, and then I got this type, right, with the different runes. And I actually have a yellow version of this, well, like an active version. Like, I probably could make it to where you could draw that big shape on a surface, but it'll be like this, right? You can place a block like it's considered a full block. So, it's interesting. We'll say that it's interesting. Now, I just thought of this. I could maybe make it like Mage Weave. So Mage Weave, let's get a wall I don't care about. Right, so you can put Mage Weave on the surface of things. And I think, yeah, you can put a block inside of it. But I'm not sure what this buys you. You know what I mean? Because like if I do GM, GM1, right? And I could like break it off, but then it becomes, you know, like I would have to put in a kill command there. I don't know. A lot of complaints that I got from the mod is that the systems were too complex. And I do have a habit of, and I will admit, I have a habit of making something that is overly complex. You know, that doesn't need to be, right? This intricate, certain steps you have to do. For a rune stone, do you have to draw chalks? Or, you know, magic runes on it? Or is it a block that is engraved with them, right? Because chalk, you know, it's like a cave painting at that point. I don't know. You're throwing my whole perception of what I thought would be a runestone block into disarray. It would be a neat concept because I'm not exactly married to, you know, the 4 tiny runes. I would like one bigger rune, and that's why I wanted to rekey this so I could just disable it and see what it would look like with a slightly bigger rune on the side, like in it. Because I would also like a low maintenance block, so a rune stone isn't valuable until you draw the runes around it. I don't know. No, not too complex. Those are just lazy bastards. Well, let me tell you, there are a lot of lazy bastards, then. and I have to hand it to some people. They are kind of bright. Some of my ideas, again, I got a cool idea and I put it in, And you know, it milks it a little too much, right? For rituals, you have to set this up, you have to prop this up. You know, you draw this whole pattern for most of it to be erased, right? Like, I get it. I get it. I get the fact that you gotta know what patterns or what. You know, I get it. Everyone's got their own play styles, their own, you know, their own allowances, right? To learn something new is what I feel a lot of it is, right? And I guess I would be the same way. I'm like, why the hell do I have to know how to do all this to do something basic? I get it. But if I were to add a system where you are drawing chalk on the wall, right? Like, oh, this is the new, you know, bam, now it's become active. Do you really want that to be another thing that you gotta do for each one, right? Because you have to do this, and then it's still a mastercraft, but you had to turn each one of these on and use the chalk for that? You know? Yeah, it's immersion versus tedious. Yeah, that's kind of it, right? It's like, what is the payoff here, right? What is drawing the runes on the outside doing? If it's just activating it, is it going to be tedious each time you want to do it? Does it eat the runes, right? Do you take it a step further and, like, you have to, you know, the runes wear out, and then what are you doing? You're going around. What if you have a wall here, and then that rune gets eaten? Then it's like, oh, well, that it just became a pain in the butt because now I got to break my wall to activate this again. So now you can't build these next to walls anymore, you know? Like, these pillars you don't need to have. Because really, as it sits right now, this only cares about the top block, so you could have these, like, on a ceiling. But I was also thinking, why don't I make them, the pillars... Do you need to have pillars? I don't know. So the runes would be permanent, but why not just have it to where when you place the runestone down, it already has random runes engraved on it? Because, like, when you place these down, you see, like, 4 little ones, but what if it's just one big... That's why I want to do the bigger rune in the middle. Right? So you could see, like, this has this random rune on it. This has this random rune on it, you know? I like the rituals and tediousness. Well, the rituals will still be things you set up. They're just gonna actually do things, like the ritual of recall, right? Sending all players within 5 blocks of, you know, the center, right? So anyone within the range of you drawing out this pattern and casting your spell, right? It's gonna be, you know, recalling them to their bound point. So boom, send everyone home. You know, like fun things like that. Some of these are gonna be interesting, like the ritual of containment to trap creatures in the center, right? While it's running. The ritual of soul harvest is gonna be pretty metal. That's gonna be a ritual you unlock from, like, the darkness here. Just an AoE smash. But yeah. And again, right, these runestones, we gotta think of the function of the runestone. The runestone is the cap for these, right, for your obelisk and stuff, and, you know, and it's gonna dictate how efficient these are. How quickly these can generate essence, right? How much they can generate. Maybe what their maximum storage amounts are, right? There's going to be a lot to these caps. These caps also are used in the utility blocks, right? So, like my wall, right? The magic wall, the elevator, you know, slipstream generator, stuff like that. You know, and it dictates, like, how well they perform. And sometimes, right, they're going to be on the bottom, sometimes they're on the top, so I would have to do checks to see if you drew the right runes to activate your runestone. You know, so it's like, well, what about, like, the one thing you put on top, right, and this gets buried in the ground, but you still got to draw your runes around it. So it's like you got to dig it up and draw your runes and put it back, right? Is that a step too far? I don't know. But if I do put in a system like that, then you could pretty much, like, I think this would be cool. This would be an argument for it. You have a wall, and then you start, like, here, let me get something here. Yeah, whatever. This. So you start drawing out like a, you know, like a shape or a circle or something. And then you can cast transmutation and turn it into like a portal that you could step through, right? Boom, right? And then you could jump into it. You know, like stuff like that would become possible. But I can also do that through other means if I want. Like, for instance, that's part of like the gateway system. The gateway's over there, where I want you to teleport from gateway to gateway using magic essence. I don't know. I've been live streaming for a while. My butt's starting to hurt. I'm hungry. My soda is like gone. So I think this is a good place to stop. Let's find someone to raid. Who is actually playing this game? Vintage Story! Wow, we got a handful of people. I'm rebuilding the tower and the house. Okay, cool. There's one. Hey, Gilligan streaming, all right. You know what? Let's throw it over to Gilligan. Yeah, we can throw it over to either Gilligan or this other person. Summertime. I don't know. You know what? Let's throw it over to Gilligan.
I asked Deadpool to show
Wait, what is this? Oh, tasty chicken?
Spicy chicken strips. Not really what I had in mind, Deadpool. Starting at $5.50 for brand new dipping sauces.
Ooh, it comes with French fries? Ah, Jack in the Box, we don't have one. Way to get my hopes up. I'm like, oh, that chicken looks good. All right, we're gonna raid Gilligan. Exclamation raid. Oh, wait, it's slash raid. Oh, that's right. I do have something. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching me. It's been a pretty solid stream. I like having these conversations. I really do. It does help. Definitely helps. But I need some answers, community, so, you know, think about it. Just think about how the attunement system should work. You know? Think about, like, if you think about, oh, you should really create a creature that does blank, right? As long as it's not going to fart out rainbow bridges for people to, you know, climb on, and a unicorn that cries acid or any crazy thing like that. You know, it's probably, you know, it's feedback that I can use, right? Thanks, have a good one. Till next time, thank you, everyone. I may be streaming again later tonight. I think I will be streaming again later tonight. Possibly. I'm not sure what I'll be doing. We'll either be working on something here or maybe World of Warcraft. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna wait. I want my collector's edition first before I sign back in. I just want to look at it, right? You know, get everything up to date. I know they're fixing things. And I'll try and get the Discord going. I'll get my personal Discord going. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I will talk to you later. Bye.